Hello, Vega Vibers. Check this out. Richie's big rig. I believe it's 2018. Yes, 2018. Ram 2500 heavy duty with a Cummins turbo diesel. It's got some sort of lift on it. I'm not sure how many inches, but she's up high. 20-inch wheels, pretty deep. Check that out. Looks like Cali off-road. Fox shocks. Good looking truck. Another Mopar. Anyway, we're going to install some train horns in here. And here's the location. Right where the spare tire used to live. See those channels in there? We cut everything out and we put these channels in to allow us to put this board in there. This is some decent plywood. And no, it's not going to get wet and get rotted and get destroyed and everything's going to fall off. We're going to go ahead and get this fitted. Then we're going to remove it and we're going to paint it and undercoat it to protect it. And by the time this goes bad, that truck will be at a junkyard somewhere, a pull apart or something, right? But there you have it. Let me show you the train horns. Check these things out. Pretty chrome, nice and shiny. Don't know how long that's going to stay like that, but they're pretty for now. Check out that tank, massive. This thing has to measure at least 30 inches in length. And then we have the compressor here. So here's the idea, folks. I already drew this out. So the tank is going to live here in this area. See that? It says tank. The horns are going to live here in this area, right? They get bolted here, right? It's going to be 6 bolts. And then the compressor is going to be here. And that's going to allow us just enough room to slide this back in place, bolt it all down with those channels you saw in there. This is what they look like. All right. And they have what they call, I believe they call them nut certs. These things here, they slide in place right in here like this. All right. And then you have your stainless steel bolts. I believe these are 3/8. And they screw right into that and they tighten down. Okay, so here's some gauges. Plenty of gauges. We get the valve here. This is going to supply air to the trumpets themselves from the tank. Another gauge in here. Some wiring. Some decals. Some are already on. And then we have this air coupler. We're going to install this somewhere within this area here. Right, we're going to remove this piece here because this is what Richie uses to air up his suspension back here. See the airbags? I don't know if you can see that, but there's your airbags, and they get filled in through here. But we're gonna change all that because now it's going to have its own compressor, and we're going to use this switch here to go up and down with the suspension. Whole lot easier than pulling over at a gas station and using their compressor to air up your suspension. And then this here is for just in case, right? In case you need to put a little air in your tires, you know, your wheels or your buddies or maybe even the trailer, right? But we're gonna have a little air supply. Anyway, folks, let me get this. Let's get this started. Here, let me just give you an idea of what it's going to look like. So that's going to go there. Compressor's going to go here, like this, like so. And then your tank is going to go like that. And that's just how it's going to look under there. Not bad. It'll work. You know, when you install these things, you have to find room. And if you look under this truck, I know it's a big truck, but there's a lot going on under there. And so the only place to install it was where this spare tire was living. And this tire in here has never come down, ever. It's 2018, so it's been, what, 2, 3, 5 years, never used a spare. So doesn't need it, so it's gone. Besides, you catch a flat in this thing, you're better off calling AAA, getting it towed back home. All right, folks, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. What I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna record all the drilling and cutting that I'm gonna do here, because that's just gonna make for a really long video. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and prepare this, get this all set up, and then show you guys that it's done, and then how it gets put underneath the truck here, and then cut the video again and start installing these parts, and then show you, you know, a small video of how that was done and how it, you know, the finished product looks. So we'll see you in a minute. So there it is. Everything is in place. Doesn't look too bad. So the tank has to be installed upside down because this gets flipped the other way. So this would be the bottom. So I went to Home Depot, purchased these straps here. I don't know what they are for, but they were cheap enough, and kind of knew they would work. So I cut them to length, wrapped them around here, bolted them in place. And the reason for that is because it has a drain plug here. So if I installed it, you know, upright, you're not going to be able to drain the condensation, the water that builds up inside there. So this way we can go ahead and do that every month or so and let some of the water out of here. But there it is. Everything's in place. Horns are tight, compressor's tight, tank is tight, the valve is tight. So this is what blows the horn, this valve here. So you connect power and ground to this, opens up the valve and allows pressure from the tank run through the line, through the valve, and into the horn housing. Bam, done. All right, so let me get this all back taken apart and prepare this plywood for an installation. I'm going to treat it first, make sure that it doesn't get wet, and even if it does, it'll be years before this thing falls apart, but I'm going to protect it. See you in a minute. Okay, so the homemade board is in place. Let me show you guys what that looks like. Bam! What's that look like? You know what? It's not pretty, but it's going to work. I don't know if you noticed, but you see what we use here. By the way, Richie's here, lending a hand, working on this truck. It's like 90 degrees out here, and it's hot as hell, right, Rich? And it's only gonna get hotter. There you go, folks. You see what we use here? See this rubber coating I put on here? This is actually an inner tube for a bike, and to prevent it from making noise and vibrating. Also, it'll snug it up a little tighter. That goes in there. All the bolts are in place. We got the valve in place. This thing is ready to go together. So we're gonna get that started right now. Okay, so we do have everything in place, but as usual, it started raining. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, can you guys see that? There's your tank. Everything's in place. The trumpets are in place. The compressor's in place. And the valve is in place. Just need to run the wires and the lines to the front. It looks good.
What do you think roughly that's
So
going to be?
we're gonna have to call it a day here and get back to it tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Okay, so it's the next day, and we've completed everything under here, as you all know. We ran the lines alongside the chassis, and we ran out. It's not gonna make it into the cab, so I'm waiting on a delivery. See, it only reaches up to here. I have to go through that floor. I have to remove the carpet, go through the floor. See, I got a coat hanger in here to fish the wire through here. This is the plug that I found. Remove that, and we're gonna run those lines in here along with the one power wire, and then in here we're going to put the manual switch and a gauge for the suspension up and down. Here, let me show you what that looks like. All right, so here's the gauge that we're going to use. It's already set up. I extended the wires for the light. There's an LED in there that lights up. And here's the other one that I thought we were going to use, and then I realized that this is a dual. So you have a left and right, or front and rear, and we're only using the rear. And so let me show you what that's going to look like in there. Oh, here it is right here. So that's going to go in here like this, and then here's your switch. It's a manual switch. You've got the airlines connect right to this. That would go in here like this, and then you go up, suspension up, down, suspension down, and then right in here you can see how much pressure you're either inflating it or deflating it. And so the wiring is going to go right to the glove box light. Easy hookup. Right here, there's yellow and black. Yellow is power, black is ground, of course. And when you open this up, it lights up. In here, there's a small LED that lights up the glove box, where we're going to use that also to light up the gauge. And then we're going to continue on to the other side, and here's the 8-gauge power wire here. This is going all the way towards the back, and then there will be a relay there to activate the compressor. And then here in this area, there's a plate that goes here. Here it is. Here it is. We're going to put a couple of switches in here. All right. I just have to be careful not to put it in the way of anything. I don't have much room in here, but I think I'm almost 100% sure that I can get 2 to 3 switches in here, and then he can operate anything from here. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna put. Okay, maybe the air horns will go here, a bypass switch, and something else. I just can't remember what it is. But yes, we're moving right along. It's getting really hot out here right now. It's not 12 o'clock in the afternoon yet, and we're expecting the weather to be up into the 90s. So we'll see how this goes. All right, let me get some more done, and I'll be right back. Okay, you can hear the compressor running. Tank is filling. It's a little noisy, but you can't hear much of it inside. But that's what it looks like. She's all done. Set of relays right there. There's the horns. Power wire is in place. This is all sealed. Everything's looking good. Richie's finishing up, zip tying the supply lines for the air suspension in here. Still need to install the glove box at the bottom. I don't know if you can see, but that's one line there, and then the other one's right behind it over here. So we have both lines going in, loops around here, down underneath the carpet, through the drain plug, and out towards the front here. You can't see anything. She's ready. We're gonna let that tank fill up, and then we're gonna give you a little demonstration. See you in a minute. Oh my God, finally. It's getting dark out, but the job is done. What the hell? He's a tune-up. That's that DEF delete. All right, it's gonna come over here and we're gonna give it a quick rundown. Sweet. She is done. Check it out, guys. There's our pressure gauge. There's our up and down for the suspension going up. You see how much pressure is in there? We are up to 80. Light comes on. That works. Let me go on the driver's side over there. And this job is completed. There's our switch. You turn the key on, the ignition key, and this switch here powers up the whole system. You can shut the whole system down right here and blow the horn. Nothing happens. Turn the switch on. Rich, give me a little demonstration. Woo-hoo! You're going to jail. Woo! All right, folks. That's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.